Come on. Welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. My name is Brandon, and I'm a high school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia, doing another episode of Hey Arnold today. This is one that has been asked about an awful lot. Whenever any of the viewers have mentioned the series Hey Arnold and wanted me to take a look at it, usually it's this episode or a couple of others. This one is called New Teacher. I believe it's from the second season. Going to be taking a look at it today. I mentioned in the last one that I have heard of this show before and seen little snippets of it, but have not really seen any full episodes, including this one. So enjoyed the last one. Can't wait to see what this one is about. Just a reminder, if you're not subscribed, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. All right,
Now,
new
class,
teacher.
I have a very important announcement. Your teacher, Miss Slovak, has left the teaching profession to pursue her dream to be a professional golfer. Hence, she'll no longer be your teacher.
Okay, wow. All right, so a couple of things right off the bat. So it is kind of rare, but teachers do take little leaves of absences. The most common one is for some sort of illness or maternity leave, something like that is fairly common. But he says that she left the teaching profession entirely. I have seen people do that. Sometimes it's because, they end up not liking it. Sometimes they just have some other path that they want to take. In this case, he says that she went to be a professional golfer, which I've never heard of. They're excited, but we'll see what happens when they get their new teacher. We'll see if they're just as excited or not.
I expect all of you to be courteous, kind, and cooperative toward your new teacher, Mr. Simmons.
Hello, class. Hello, Mr. Simmons. I bet you all have your own individual way of saying hello. When I say hello, class, everyone respond in your own individual way. Hello, class.
No one says anything.
Well, that's one way to respond by not responding. Silence often speaks volumes.
Music to my ears.
Okay, first.
Yeah, and the principal says as he walks out, music to my ears. That's kind of the old way of thinking that silence is always good, which is not true. There's nothing wrong with the noise in a classroom so long as it's productive and focused on whatever content that the students are working on. And this guy is the one I remember from the previous episode. I guess like many other of the series I've done, I'm watching them a little out of order, but that's okay. I'm going off the viewer recommendations, as you all know. So let's see what happens here. I'm guessing this is Mr. Simmons. This is going to be his first day on the job, which is very important for a teacher, setting the tone for the class. Let's see how he does here.
I'd like to play with the structure of this classroom. Let's break free and move the desks into one big circle.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
I love getting to know a new class, so I thought we could break the ice by doing a communications exercise.
This is actually pretty good so far. I was going to comment on the fact that nowadays you see less and less of the straight line desks, and you can do that depending on how you run the class. You can have, desks in straight rows, but a lot of teachers like to do it differently to encourage interaction between students. If you do work in little groups, like I've seen the circle like he does. That way the students are all facing each other and it kind of encourages productive dialogue. I've also seen it where they're in groups already, groups of 3 or 4 around the classroom in little stations. So this is actually pretty good so far. And he's talking about doing a little exercise here to encourage them to communicate. This is really good so far, actually.
Is the truth crown.
The truth crown.
Whoever is wearing it has to look across the circle and tell that person one thing they like about him or her. One thing.
And in general, I like this, but depending on how the students are, this could get weird because they have to tell the other person something they like about them. A lot of teachers have done stuff like this, but they let the students focus more on themselves by sharing something about themselves and not so much talking about someone else. That can get a little weird, but let's see how it goes for him.
You like about
Arnold. The truth about Arnold? Well...
He's like, go ahead.
I don't like his stupid football head.
No, that wasn't the idea of this exercise.
Uh-oh. Good try, though.
Into a circle. We're at Truth Ground. What is this? Some kind of wacky cove? We have to get this guy. All the usual tricks.
Oh no.
All the usual tricks. Okay, drop pencil at 11:30. Switch names. Random coughing. Curly, you fake violin. Got it. Stinky, you pretend not to understand English. Right. Everyone know the drill? Absolutely.
This isn't good. So they're getting together. One of them says, "Let's get this guy." It's always bad news. I don't typically see this kind of everybody teaming up on the teacher in this way, and certainly not this level of coordination. Like you do this at this time, and I'll do this at this time. I have never seen that before. I have seen students sort of conspire against the teacher, but it's never this complicated. It's pretty simple, but even that is very, very rare. But let's see. And that's a shame because he did kind of a good job on coming in and getting them started, even though they didn't really cooperate so much.
Class, I want to start by telling you my two main beliefs about teaching.
Okay.
Number one, in my class, each person is a unique individual, and the things they do, good or bad, they do because that's who they are. The pencil dropping ploy. Oh, it takes me back to when I was a kid.
Oh, he knows about it.
I don't understand English.
What's your name?
Harold.
What?
Quiet, Helga.
Harold.
Yes?
Now, have you two switched names in order to confuse me?
Slow down. I'm confused.
Now, I'm glad to see the tradition of messing with a new teacher's head is alive and well. Okay, I'm not going to get upset by all this coughing because that's who I am. And I accept that you all have to do your coughing prank because that's who you are. My second teaching belief is students should never stop asking why. Why? Why? All through your life, you should never stop questioning because that is how you learn.
Yeah, true.
Why?
This guy's a real throw pillow.
Now, I thought we would take up where you left off on your poetry lesson.
I know a poem. There once was a man from Nantucket.
That's fine. Have a seat. Now, you see, the poetry I like is experimental. Doesn't have to rhyme kind of stuff. Like this famous poem by Walter Charles Walter. The poem is called They Were Delicious.
Yeah, and I had to pause it for a minute because that I can't quite read that. I don't know if you can, but I don't think this is quite legible. That's a little interesting. Well, let's see what happens here.
I have eaten the tomatoes that were on the windowsill. Were you saving them for a special occasion? I apologize. They were delicious and so juicy and so red.
It's not a poem. It's just a long sentence.
Now, why don't each of you take out a piece of paper and write a poem that comes from, well, you?
Oh, forget it.
Who needs poetry? Your touchy-feely teaching method is bogus.
Bogus!
Yeah. Yeah, and so you've got a few of them that are kind of leading this. I find it hard to believe that an entire classroom like this would just go nuts on him and automatically be together and coordinated. I just have never seen that. And I think Harold ate this guy's lunch. Just straight up stole the teacher's lunch and ate it. That would come with some consequences for sure. But let's see.
Taunt me, they can play tricks on me, they can laugh at me, but nothing can hurt me because I am stronger than all of that. Plus, I have my favorite sandwich, turkey, tomato, and watercress to look forward to. Where's my line?
Harold ate it.
Has anyone seen the brown bag that was... This is inhuman.
You're broken.
You could have asked for some sandwich. I would have given you half. Now, I am happy to stay here if you're going to attempt to be a class of students, yet I just may leave if you continue acting like a mob of wild animals.
Let's continue to act like a mob of wild animals!
No. Yeah, I've never seen that where the kids are that hostile all together at the same time. Now, I've seen a couple of students be that hostile, but an entire class all working together, all just as hostile, and they just leave like that. And I've never seen that before. Particularly, I think this is supposed to be elementary school. That makes it even less realistic, but let's see. What are they going to do now?
We won't be
Just
seeing
leave?
that granola boy Simmons in these parts ever again.
We broke that teacher like he was an old hickory stick. Yeah, and tomorrow we'll get another sack.
Yeah, but who is it going to be?
I think I have the right solution to this class's discipline problem. Your new permanent teacher is Mr. Goose. Well, actually, I should say Lieutenant Major Goose.
Lieutenant Major. Whatever that means.
I'll have complete control over this unit by 1000 hours.
All right. And I remember something like this actually from an episode of SpongeBob, of all things. But Lieutenant Major, I'm pretty sure that's not real. And then this guy comes in, and he's going to straighten everybody out. I have seen teachers come in that had prior military experience, and in some ways that kind of helps them to be organized in many other ways. But they're not going to come in a uniform and start talking about talking how this guy's talking. You're just not going to see that. But I'm guessing they're going to want Mr. Simmons back after they have whatever experience they're going to have with this guy. Let's see.
Act as one unit, unless I address you by name. Is that clear?
Oh, okay.
Who deployed that pencil? It was a calculated act. Since the foreign object is under your desk, I assume you are the enemy. What is your name?
Curly.
Ridiculous.
Your hair's not curly, boy. What's your real name?
Thaddeus.
Curly, go stand in that corner facing inward. You've earned yourself a corner, little lady. And so have you, Pally. Ooh, you. The remaining corner, now. Symmetry.
Symmetry.
Now, any question?
So he punishes 3 of them, and he sends another guy over there just for symmetry. Okay. And the whole standing in the corner, again, I don't have a lot of experience with elementary school, but I'm pretty sure that whole practice has been phased out. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, but typically you're just not going to have that.
Let's try it again.
8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32.
I can't hear you.
8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32.
Huh. Okay, well, he got control, didn't he?
Man. Not a good man at all.
He seems utterly sadistic.
What are we gonna do, Arnold?
I wish we could get Mr. Simmons back. Oh, please.
Yeah, see, now they want him back because his teaching methods, even though they didn't really like them, were actually not too bad. I actually like some of the things he was trying to do with them. But this guy is not, almost not really teaching, but he did get control of the class for sure. I'm wondering how they get Mr. Simmons back. How are they going to accomplish that?
Is Mr. Simmons that touchy-feely geek? At least he listened to us when we spoke. He's innovative, responsive, and bright.
He taught us to ask why.
Yeah.
Now that's an innovative brand of education. Yeah, if only you guys hadn't been so mean to him.
You ate his sandwich and broke his spirit, you
Yeah, he
moron.
did.
Listen, I've got a plan. Listen, Teach. Bottom line, we want you back.
Well, I'm afraid that's not enough of a reason for me, Helga. Or should I say Harold? Good afternoon.
I wish we could just show Mr. Simmons that we can learn. That we're not just a pack of raving lunatics.
Come on, guys. We've got work to do.
Mr. Simmons, we got presents and poetry.
Well,
So why don't we start off with a free-form poem?
all right.
Gerald? Sid? I've seen the best minds of my generation serving up fastballs in the blacktop. Someone yells car, and they scatter like so many leaves from an October wind. Then the bell rings, and they're sitting back in their class staring at a pop quiz. This is my truth round. And what I like about you, Mr. Simmons, is your caring and giving nature.
Mr. Simmons, I made you something.
For me?
It's a sandwich.
This is very touching. A replacement sandwich. And more importantly, it's a Harold Berman sandwich because right between the turkey and the tomato is a little invisible layer of love. Friends, your presentations have really moved me, and because of who I am, I want to come back and be your teacher.
Wait a minute, you bunch of chuckleheads. We have one very big obstacle. Lieutenant Major Goose.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to deploy a strategic strike of our own.
A strategic strike,
bunch
huh?
of ragtag fourth graders. I'm determined to make
I think they would probably have more success just saying, hey, look, we made a mistake. Go to the principal, say, look, we did this. We won't do it again. He was a much better teacher. Just bring him back. Because in the end, Mr. Warts does have the ability to do that. Now, they're talking about a strategic strike on this guy. That does not sound good at all. But let's see what they end up doing here.
each and every one of you a socially acceptable human being.
Why?
Why? What?
Why are we ragtag?
You're undisciplined.
Why do you have to yell all the time? Why are your shoes always so shiny?
Why aren't you still in the army? Did you go AWOL or something?
Sit
Huh.
down.
Why did you decide to be a teacher?
Why don't you ever ask us what we think?
Enough questions.
Why don't you treat us like individuals?
Why are your pants ironed so nicely?
Why don't you teach us anything?
Why do fools fall in love?
Stop these questions.
And why are you starting to sweat, Lieutenant Major?
Why can't you handle all our questions?
Why are you humming that patriotic song?
Come on.
Why are you doing this, Mr. Goose? Is this part of the lesson plan?
Sir, may I be relieved of my duties here, sir?
Does this mean you're quitting?
Sir, yes, sir.
No.
What am I going to do now?
Principal Warts, you don't have to look for another teacher. You found the right one.
Hello, class. Now, I know that we had that scheduled math quiz, but schedules are for lieutenant majors. Today, we're going to have some unscheduled learning. And what better way than to take a hike and have an outdoor picnic? What do you say?
Okay. Oh, look at that. All right. City Park. All right. Yeah. Now, granted, after all that turmoil and all of that misbehavior, you think they're going to let those kids go on a field trip? No. And, he just comes back in the middle of the day, his first day back. They're not going to probably do that. But I get it. They had to kind of wrap this up, and he actually, everything I've seen from Mr. Simmons, he's a pretty good teacher. But that's the episode right there. I'm going to leave it there. I did enjoy this. I enjoyed the last couple of episodes of Hey Arnold that I reacted to. Granted, this series is not very true to life or realistic as far as how these things would happen in real life, but they are pretty funny and pretty entertaining. I do appreciate your recommendations. Let me know if you'd like to see any other series or any other specific episodes of Hey Arnold. Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll leave it right here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I certainly did. And once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you next time on the next School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.